Alabama fans, you need to hear this. What Paul Finebaum said today is unbelievable, and it has fans worried. One of the biggest voices in American sports analysis just made a statement that has people talking over the past few hours. Paul Finebaum, a voice that echoes across radio and television and helps shape the conversation surrounding college football, has revealed that he has only moderate confidence in Alabama heading into 2026 season. And let me be clear, this isn't speculation. It's a flashing red warning on the radar of a program that doesn't have time to blink. To understand why this matters so much, you have to go back a few months. Last season ended in a way that would have left almost any other program satisfied, but not Alabama. An 11-win, 4-loss season, an appearance in the SEC championship game, and a spot in the college football playoff. Numbers that look impressive in almost any normal context. But in the context of Alabama, those numbers hide a much more troubling reality. Georgia wasn't simply an obstacle in the SEC championship game. Georgia dominated, 28-7. It wasn't a competitive college football game where small margins and little details determined the outcome. It was a demolition, a loss that said a lot about where Alabama stood at that moment. But that wasn't even the worst part, not even close. When Alabama finally reached the playoff and faced Indiana, things didn't get better. In fact, they got exponentially worse, 38-3. A result so devastating that Indiana didn't just beat Alabama, it humiliated them in front of the entire world. 38 points, 3. That's not simply a loss in a college football game, it's a structural failure. Before that, Alabama had eliminated Oklahoma in the first round of the playoff, winning 34-24. That victory created hope. It suggested that maybe the team had finally found its rhythm. That victory became the final drop of optimism before the precipitous collapse that followed in the next 2 games. And here's the question eating away at every fan who truly understands what it means to be Alabama. This program isn't built just to make the playoff. It's built to win the playoff. Alabama isn't built merely to appear in the SEC championship game. Alabama is built to dominate everything it touches. Fans understand that you're not going to win every year, but when you get there, you have to be competitive. Last season, Alabama wasn't. Now it's 2026, and the pressure on Kalen DeBoer is as heavy as anything a coach can experience in this sport. His 3rd season, the 3rd. That's the point when a new coach needs to make it clear that the school made the right hire, that bringing this man to Tuscaloosa was the right decision. Because if it wasn't, the questions begin multiplying in ways that no program can withstand. And that's exactly why the injuries emerging already feel so damaging. Alabama desperately needs to improve its rushing attack, the running game, the basic foundation that every championship-caliber program needs to master. Last season, Alabama ranked 125th nationally in rushing offense. 125th. Can you be worse? Yes, but only if you do absolutely nothing. Among all the teams that made the playoff, none, not a single one, had a rushing attack as weak as Alabama's. That had to change. This critical weakness needed to be addressed and fixed quickly in 2026. There was hope because Alabama had recruited A.K. Deere, one of the top running backs in the 2025 recruiting class. He was ranked number 2, the second-best running back in an elite national recruiting class. He was young, just a sophomore. He was ready for increased opportunities and potentially capable of changing the dynamics of Alabama's offense. But then came the injury, an ankle injury, 6 weeks out. It's not the end of the season, but it's enough to disrupt the calendar at a critical time. 6 weeks means Alabama will miss critical September games, the early stages of the regular season, and valuable time when teams learn about themselves and begin to establish their identity. And it is within this exact combination of circumstances that Paul Finebaum went on his radio show and said out loud what many people are thinking privately. He can't go all in. It's probably the lowest level of confidence he's expressed in Alabama in a long time.
There is moderate confidence, yes. He can see a path to 9 wins. He can see the potential for another college football playoff appearance. But the early signs coming out of training camp make him uncomfortable. Structural deficiencies that haven't been fixed, injuries already removing critical pieces from the puzzle, questions that don't have clear answers this early in the season. So, Alabama, this is what you're facing. It's not simply about winning games in 2026. It's about winning games convincingly, winning in a way that demonstrates the program is actually evolving. An 11-win season that ends with another humiliating postseason loss won't be viewed the same way last season was, because expectations change, patience runs out, the questions become louder. Kalen DeBoer has to turn the considerable talent available to him into a team that genuinely looks capable of winning the games that matter most, the games that define legacies, the games that separate contenders from pretenders. Because if he can't do it, if that pattern of postseason disappointment continues, then the conversation changes fundamentally. And at Alabama, the conversation you least want to have is the one questioning whether your head coach is truly the right man for the job.